How on earth is it possible that the Matic token is crashing like this? Was Matic nothing but a huge pump and dump? Let's have a look at the causes. Let's have a look at whether or not this can turn around and if it makes sense to potentially buy low and then maybe later sell high, right? That's the whole idea of crypto. So this is the long-term Matic chart in US dollars, and we gained nothing since March of 2021. And this looks even worse when we look at Matic relative to Ethereum. We have seen an underperformance of 30%. And we all know how Ethereum has done relative to Bitcoin since the move from proof of work to proof of stake. It's falling and falling. And so Matic has even done worse than that. How on earth is it possible that Polygon, the fourth largest chain in terms of deployed applications, it's 573 protocols counted on DeFi Llama. How can it be that the total value locked on-chain moved from 10 billion all the way down to less than 1 billion, a drop of more than 90%. One possible explanation is the update of the tokenomics with the move to POL. So we now do not have any maximum supply anymore. And with the Matic tokenomics, it looked like all tokens were unlocked and we are simply now at 10 billion forever. But since the move to POL, that has changed. Suddenly, Matic or POL became an inflationary token again. And if demand can't grow as quickly as supply, that's of course not great. Another potential explanation is that the whales are simply dumping. But on-chain, we don't really see that happening. This is the Gini coefficient. So that's a measure of how concentrated the holding of the Matic or of the POL token is. That did not necessarily go down. The whales did not necessarily dump on retail. And so another possible explanation could simply be usage, right? Maybe Polygon doesn't get used that much anymore. Is that the case? Here's the problem with crypto YouTube. People promoting becoming degen or buying 100x coins. That's what gives clicks, but that's not what's going to bring you forward. I refuse to take money from centralized exchanges. I refuse to take money from crypto projects. I refuse to pump and dump a coin and filling up my pockets in the background. I don't do any of this. Instead, I share my knowledge in the form of tutorials in the premium membership. So that's content that won't do well on YouTube, but that builds up skill over time. You can also directly contact me over there. You can directly pick my brain. Feel free to check it out. TheBitcoinStrategy.com is the link. So the problem is that the data on that subject is conflicting. We've got one set of data by Glassnode, so an on-chain analytics company. We've got another set of data provided by Polygon directly on the Explorer. So this is the data on the Explorer. This seems to be growing most of the time. Recently, we've seen a drop, but overall, the number of active Polygon addresses tends to be growing. And here we've got the same data provided by Glassnode, the number of active addresses. That peaked massively in the third and fourth quarter of 2021. This is also where the total value locked, according to DeFi Llama, peaked. And subsequently, it rather went down. I tend to trust those numbers more than the numbers on the Explorer. I don't know why we've got that massive of a divergence. So there's a number of active addresses. The number of new addresses doesn't look that different. The trend is pretty much the same. And here we've got the number of addresses depositing to exchanges. So it's very unlikely that we've got manipulation in those numbers. And so again, directly on Polygon Scan, we see a quite stable number of transactions. We even see how the number of transfers for ERC20 tokens rises and the gas usage is pretty stable. So what other potential sources do we have? Let's have a look at DEX Screener. So DEX Screener is a nice explorer to look at all kinds of tokens and all kinds of blockchains. And Polygon in the last 24 hours had trading volume worth of 122 million. The Binance Smart Chain had 855 million. Arbitrum had 582 million. Ethereum more than $1 billion, and Solana also slightly more than $1 billion. One should expect that a cheaper chain has more transactions, right? Because it doesn't cost that much to move funds. There are more arbitrage opportunities, etc. But it appears as if the low transaction costs on Polygon can't really help the transaction volume. Again, for me, this seems to be inflated. This seems to be the real story because it aligns with all kinds of other metrics as well. And so that's the problem with altcoins in general, right? There's more and more layer 2 solutions on top of Ethereum. They're all competing for the same kind of dollar, and in the end the capital gets spread out across more and more chains. It appears as if Polygon is not getting out of this as a winner. I publish videos on Polygon regularly on this channel. If you don't want to miss the next videos, feel free to subscribe. Feel free to also give this a like, it helps the channel grow. In case you've got Telegram, then feel free to join us. The link is down below. Looking very much forward to chatting with you.